So welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the delay in posting a video. We've had a very rough couple of days since bringing Sully home. It's very challenging to get a cattle dog to stay calm and just deal with what he has to go through on healing. And we're just, yeah, it's been a rough couple days, so I'm going to go over what's been going on. But before I get into everything, I just wanted to say one more time, we do not let the dogs have squeakers. And I know some people might think, oh yes I do because he had one. Yes, at one point we used to do toys with squeakers, but back when Sully was swallowing squeakers and vomiting them all the time or pooping them out the other end, we decided to start cutting them out of toys. And I've mentioned all this before, but there's been a few messages I got recently, and I just wanted to clarify one more time on the internet that we have been cutting out squeakers and toys for like months, and this squeaker has literally been in him either 10 or 11 months. And even confirming with the vet again today, they think, which is the same thing I think, is that the squeaker was just sitting in his stomach for the longest time, and then it decided to go start passing through finally, and just thankfully it didn't actually create like a full blockage. He was still able to pass some stuff through. And yes, my girls are bummed we don't have squeakers anymore, but they got over it. They're fine with just playing with the toys the way they are after I cut the squeakers out, because I was worried something like this would happen, and it obviously did. And again, if this is his tummy, you know how the stomach leads to your intestines, it leads to the small intestines in a dog. It was lodged kind of like up, because the small intestines are like here, so it was like lodged up underneath there. And that's why we all think now that it was sitting in his stomach for something, because they didn't have any issues for months until, you know, end of August. So end of August, that thing decided to go into that small intestine. So just wanted to clarify that too. Again, like how I pick up random things to talk about dog anatomy. I'm not hip enough to, you know, do those cool diagrams on my YouTube channel. So Wednesday wasn't too bad. You know, we had some good poops. That was kind of short-lived. I mean, we've had some diarrhea happen again. We've had some regular poops, experienced constipation yesterday. So the poop thing's still a thing, but he's on so much medication and going through so much, we're just going to have to wait and see how things go through this whole healing process. So I'm not too worried about it right now. He's eating well every meal. He has not turned his nose up or anything like that. Thursday morning, he actually shoved his head in the kibble bin, which I was super excited to see because I have not seen him do that in a long, long time. I don't know if he actually ate any of the kibble. I think he ate a couple of pieces. But I could still see he was dropping stuff out of his mouth like he was doing before. I really think he was having some sort of like acid reflux, or just, you know, all the issues from how much vomiting he was doing caused issues in his throat. So that could still be healing on him. I also think he might have a little bit of a phobia about food now. So we'll see what happens with it. Still not drinking water as much as I'd like, so I'm adding it still to the wet food. He's only gone to the water bowl on his own maybe 2 times that I remember, maybe 3. So for some reason he's not doing it on his own, but it could just be because he's on the drugs. I'm not sure yet. So we are definitely lacking sleep in this household. We don't know what that is anymore. We thought we would get some rest during the beginning of this, and that's just not happening. So like Wednesday and Thursday night, he was in his crate crying bloody murder, and Friday I decided to set up our camping bed in the bedroom, and I slept with him Friday night, and I still did not get a good sleep Friday night because he will not sleep a full 8 hours right now. He wakes up maybe every 4 to 5 hours to go to the bathroom, and he's crying, flaring his body all around. And when you have a leash attached to your wrist and then attached to the dog to make sure that he doesn't get up and run from you, because I know he needs to be in the crate all the time, but I want him also to not feel like he's being punished the whole time, so he stays with me on that camping bed. Another problem we're having is leakage. So after surgeries, dogs will, you know, leak a little bit of plasma, sometimes even a little bit blood. And that's usually common within the first 24 hours, maybe even up to 48. But there was part of his incision that just didn't look right to me. And it's near his like diaphragm. And I'm not going to show pictures. I have pictures and videos if people want to see the staples and everything else. I'm not sure I really want to show that to everyone because it is very disgusting and it's heartbreaking. But if you guys want to see it, let me know. Nobody wanted to see it in the last video. No one commented. So, but anyway, there's a weird part on the top part of his incision, and it kind of bubbled up a little bit, and it started leaking a little bit on Wednesday. I'm like, you know what, this is kind of normal. He just got home. Thursday morning, it was leaking even worse, and he actually kind of like scratched it, and it started bleeding and leaking more. and we were having trouble getting that to stop all day Thursday, but it wasn't too bad on Thursday. But we took him back to the vet on Thursday, and a vet tech checked him, and she said, oh, everything looks fine, it's normal, staples look good. And I'm like, okay, fine. So we went back home, and I just didn't feel like it was fine. So come Friday morning, it was like a complete disaster. Like, we woke up, he was just, you know, puddles of blood and plasma mixed together underneath him and on his bedding, all over his, like, the inside of his back legs. Like, I even laid down with him for like a nap, and I was watching just this stuff ooze out of him in that particular spot. And every time I got the bleeding to stop and I got the ooze to stop, it would be very brief, and as soon as he would get up to go potty, it would start all over again, and then it'd be like hours of the stuff oozing out of him. I'm like, this is not right. So I contacted my vet office again, sent them more pictures of what was going on, and they replied back, well, you probably need to make sure he's resting and put him on an e-collar. I was freaking livid, because it's like, what do you think I'm doing with him? Of course I'm making him rest. Like, I don't want, you know, the incision to pop open, and I have another problem on my hands. On leash all the time, attached to us. Like, there's no way the dog's running. We're having trouble stopping the spring in his tushy, because he is the kangaroo boy. Like, he'll be randomly walking and still do a little jump, or if he's near the counter or the couch, he does a little jump. So we really have to keep him at a distance of the things he loves to jump to. So we got him into the vet today, which is Saturday, and his favorite vet tech was there, and one of the doctors that actually worked on the surgery with cattle dog doctor was there. She's actually the one I have issues with, but she's really nice today, so that's a plus. But she looked at it and she said, oh yeah, it's infected. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not totally crazy. This is wrong. So he has an infection already on day 4 in his incision. So we've upped all his medications. We've put him on antibiotics, which start tonight. And yeah, he is going to be totally drugged out for the next week or so, because he just will not calm down. But she said I was very right for being concerned, and all I kept thinking is, I should be a veterinarian, because I was right in the first place that this was a squeaker. I was also right again that this is not normal leakage. But then again, I probably wouldn't make a good veterinarian, because we all know I have issues with saying words. But all his staples and sutures look good. It's just he does have an infection, so we are just working through things the best we can. And she also suggested a surgical suit, so we have ordered those tonight. That's another thing that made me very mad on Friday, is when they told me to make sure he's got rest and you really should look into an e-collar. They also said, don't cover it, don't put any covering on it, don't do nothing. And I'm like, and I put them in a t-shirt anyway, because there's just that much leakage happening. But like I said, the surgical suits are on their way. They are being overnighted, so they will be here tomorrow morning. And of course, I'm going to videotape him in them, because as soon as they're washed, I'm going to put one on him. And we got him a camouflage one, because he's a little soldier, and he's a little fighter, so he's gonna look cute. I just hope it fits, because the sizing just was weird. But in the meantime, I found clearance t-shirts, because my t-shirts are not staying on him, even with ties on them very well. You look like I could use a treat. That's very fitting for Sully. And the piece de resistance t-shirt that I found, oh, the horrible accent. Look at that. Look at that. Bonfires, long walks, blankets, and treats. It's the cutest little shirt for camping, for my little camping boy. So once I wash all his bedding, I will wash his t-shirts, and we are just going to switch out t-shirts all night, because he already soaked Gypsy's t-shirt, because that fit him, her little Def Leppard t-shirt. And I did even get an e-collar today, because she's not convinced that he's not licking it, but I'm pretty convinced he's not licking it. He was okay with it for a while, but he did start slamming his head into the ground, and with his sedatives actually starting to kick in and working finally, I went back to the donut. I think I'm going to use the e-collar when I have to wash the donut, and we'll just go back and forth between the two, and he's just going to have to get over it. Our biggest challenge is getting those sedatives to work. Like, they'll kick in, and it takes about an hour for them to kick in, and then I get about an hour's piece, and then he's like high for like maybe 2 hours after that, and that's it. And she even asked me today, are the sedatives, you know, making him calm for 12 hours? And I was just like, are you nuts? Like, of course they're not. It's a cattle dog. Like, we do not get 12 hours of peace with these sedatives. So that's why we upped them originally on Thursday, to try to get him to calm down. And then today we've upped them again. So he's like on a total of, I don't know, it's like 3 or 4 pills total, but it's broken. It's like 1.5 pills every 8 hours. So what was that? I mean, I guess that's 4.5 pills, right? Or so, you know, math is harder now because I'm really tired. So we will see if this new mega dose of sedatives, like a mega pint, will calm him down and let him rest and just heal. He's fighting us a little bit. Like, even with the leash, there's times he's like, no, I want to do it on my own. It's that whole stubbornness. He's testing me again, and he's just going to have to get over a lot of things because we're just going to have to get over it. The girls have been amazing. Like, Gypsy tries so hard to play with him, but I tell her to leave him alone, and she does. But I can tell she's like dying to run with him again. Clea avoids him. She's terrified of the donut and the t-shirt. I think she thinks she's next when it comes to those items, but she like runs from him every time he comes near her. She's really terrified of that donut around his neck. But they've been leaving him alone and leaving the incision alone, so that's really good. And Silver just does her old lady thing, so that's fine. Sally really missed Sully. That cat has been totally nuts and following him around and me around. She's just so happy he's home. I sometimes wonder if she chose him and not me. I'm just the food lady. So besides for hoping that his infection goes away like really quickly, because the smell of blood and plasma is just horrid, and there's just that much of it that you can smell it all through the upstairs and even downstairs in my house, because there's some that got on the carpet that I haven't been able to get out yet. I'll get to it soon because I feel like it's just constant cleanup right now. But we're hoping for some sleep this weekend, praying for some sleep, and I'm hoping to get back into somewhat of a normal routine because there is a lot of babies in this house that are being neglected. Like the poor girls, well, okay, poor Gypsy hasn't been able to go on her walks. Clea is totally fine with being lazy. We all know this. But like my birds and, you know, Fang Fang and Talia, my other cats, like everybody has like not had enough mommy time because I'm so focused on the boy. So like everybody's getting neglected, unfortunately, and the routine's off, which that's never good for anybody. So we're hoping for normalcy to get here quicker than later. And he's restricted to no activity at all. Like there's no walking, playing, running, nothing. He has to be on leash, on collar the whole 2 weeks, and then he gets his staples out. And I don't even know if we're going exactly at the two week mark at this point because of the stuff going on with his incision right now, but we will see. So hopefully in 10 days or 11 we will get those staples out, and then I think we have to be a little bit still cautious 2 weeks afterwards. Like he can't go full on crazy, but I'm sure he's gonna, I don't know, we'll see how he is. But I think that is it for now. Yeah, just a lot of cleaning, running to the store, running up to the boy, spending time with the boy. Yeah, it's just been a busy 4 days with him, trying to keep things somewhat calm with a cattle dog. So that is it for now, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.